US primaries yesterday, Bernie didn't do very well, and it's ironic. It's kind of funny that like I support both Bernie and Arsenal, and they're not doing very well. Yeah, and I wrote something about it, basically saying it's not out yet. You know, it's like it's still a it's while it's improbable, it's not impossible. You know, like in the sense of the US election going forward, there's a lot of liberal states going forward. I mean, now a lot of the primaries have been in the South where Clinton is stronger, and going forward, it is going to be more liberal states, and it could be better. It could turn out better. I think the biggest thing is that Bernie doesn't need to drop out. Like, you know, like Marco Rubio has dropped out because he's funded by super PACs and donors who tell him, okay, it's time to we're cutting out your supply of money. Whereas Bernie Sanders is publicly funded entirely, and as long as he has money, as long as people are donating to him, he can keep running. He can keep at this until he can go take this all the way till the end, really. And I think the last one will be California, but before that, I think it's New York. And New York and California are big states. I mean, if he wins there but landslides, he could take the nomination. But again, until then, right now Clinton's lead is 300 delegates. I'm not counting the superdelegates. With the superdelegates are people who can choose, basically, irrespective of how their states did. So even if they won for Bernie, they can go over to Clinton, and vice versa, and they can change their decision all the way up to the convention. So let's say Bernie Sanders does do well with delegates. Now, when a primary is won, the delegates that are up are split proportionally. So it's not a winner takes all situation. So he's 300 delegates behind. There's still another 2,400 delegates up for grabs. 2,000 delegates up for grabs. So it's not over yet. It's not over yet. But he's going to have to pull off some really big victories in the next few weeks. But yeah, the biggest point here is that he doesn't have to drop out. There's no one pulling the strings behind him. He is funding himself, and until a point where, like, he feels like, you know, there's no point, there's no way I can win this, then that's when he will drop out. But if he loses, like, if he loses badly, like if he does badly in New York, then it will be definitively over. And as for Arsenal, I still think we can win the title. We're playing Arsenal later. I don't know whether I want to watch the match, but I still think we can win the title. And why? Because one game in hand, we're about 5 points behind Spurs, and Leicester have one game in hand. We're 7 points behind or something like that. Thing is, there's still a lot of big matches upcoming, you know, and Spurs has got 3-4 big matches coming up for them, tough matches. Leicester has 4 big matches coming up, and yeah, so I think it's like 2 or 3 big matches coming up. So it's not over, it's not done, you know, the case isn't closed yet. And while I acknowledge the fact that it's improbable, it is not impossible. And until that point where it becomes like, until I see maybe if they lose the next 2 games, like if they just like, and they're not playing, they just like they're not even trying, then I know that they've given up. Then that's a different story. But until I see that, or until it becomes mathematically impossible, I will still believe. Although I'm not naive and stupid, I acknowledge the fact that it's improbable, and yeah. But I've not lost all hope here. I've not lost all hope in both camps. With regards to, but I mean, not like it's going to directly affect me, but it's just that it would be good to see Bernie Sanders and Hillary. I don't like Hillary Clinton for many reasons, and when it comes to a Hillary Clinton like Trump mashup, I don't know which I would choose, like which one I would rather see win. And who knows, maybe after I do my research on Trump and watch everything, maybe I might even pick Trump over Hillary Clinton. Who knows? You know, there are a lot of points have been brought up that have been very interesting, and I think the biggest thing is the fact that he isn't funded by super PACs, right? Yeah, sure, he's got a certain portion of public funds, which it's just regular people, and I think most of he's self-financing, self-funding, which means he's loaning his campaign money, which means he can take that money back if he loses. Yeah, but that's, again, that's what he said. He said self-financing, which he isn't lying. He isn't lying there. So I want to go through all of that and then see how, you know. Yeah. Ideally, I would like to see Bernie against Trump, then that's an easy decision. I still think both Bernie Sanders and Arsenal are still in it, and I will keep thinking that until the point I don't think that anymore, in which you will find out here.